We're back with the bullshit.
Hey, Phil. I wish to continue my pain.
Welcome back, everybody. We're empty nesters this week. My parents are gone, so Ryan and I have had the house to ourselves for a couple days now at the time of recording. We are still alive. We have managed just to fend for ourselves.
Have we, though?
Hey, I made you soup yesterday.
I know, I'm joking.
But yeah, we're alive and we're back in this fucking bullshit tournament.
Yep.
How's everybody doing? No?
As if we actually got any comments.
Yeah, we're not gonna get any comments. I can be hopeful, can't I?
Yeah.
We got our booster shots for COVID on Friday, and Ryan and I were well, Ryan was more of a corpse than me, but
Yeah.
like we were not doing well for like the last 2 days.
I just do not react well to Moderna, apparently.
No.
Because Pfizer, I felt fine.
Yeah, like both of us were fine after Pfizer, and then Moderna just like kicked our asses. For me, it was like full body aches and like a headache and stuff, but then like Ryan was like on the brink of death. Which obviously isn't a good thing, but hey, it's better than getting fucking COVID again in my case.
Well, we can't even confirm that you had it that one time. It was just suspicions.
Well, it's just because like they said essentially that it was like, oh yeah, just assume that you have it, so.
Well, it's also because thanks to our premiere, we can't test.
Yeah. Hi, Pooba. Can you come cuddle? There's a little man.
A little catto.
He's no longer a cat seed. He's a fully grown catterfly.
A catterfly?
Yeah.
What is with the combinations for these? Like, I don't like large. Well, I think it's well documented at this point. I don't like large bodies.
Yeah. I don't like these fucking weird angel things.
No, because they kind of just do their own thing.
Look at the little man.
And when they decide, no, I'm guarding now, you will do no damage to me.
Like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking large bodies. You know what, sometimes when I play this game, I almost wish I had a traditional health bar where it told me like the exact HP value.
Yeah.
So I can actually know how much damage I'm taking.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you've just lost a third of your HP because damage. Yeah, he's making a nest.
Oh, he's snuggled with his mom. No, I get that. I like, at least with like, just thinking of an example, like with Final Fantasy XIV, how it's like you don't necessarily know the number value of the damage you're like getting or doing, but like it will like tell you at the same time.
I mean, 14, it does outright tell you how much damage each of your actions do.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. What are you doing, silly?
I don't know, I just feel like with this game, because it has a habit of a lot of enemy attacks just taking out a huge chunk of your HP, that I think I'd almost rather look at numbers.
Yeah.
you know, do what Final Fantasy's been doing for a while. Where you have numbers, and if your HP is in a bad spot, it turns yellow. If it's a really, really bad spot, it turns red.
Yeah, but that would require them to use any sort of logic in the development of Kingdom Hearts.
No, it's just, here's a green bar, and it'll go down when you get hit. That's all we're going to tell you. Also, I feel like if you have an actual number to put on, like, damage and everything, it can encourage you to actually be a bit more defensive, because you know the general range.
And then again, that would require logic.
But I guess, okay, I'll say one thing in defense of the current one is that I guess it's easier to display, to figure out how much damage you're taking in an action RPG, or not taking, but how much you have left in an action RPG with a glance. Or I guess more turn-based games like Final Fantasy, it's more, since you're taking your time more often than not, you can gauge your HP value more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like, it tells me nothing about how much HP, like, I don't know if when the chunks of damage I'm taking is it because I'm under-leveled, is it because it's just, you have HP and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Which is just a little odd to me for this being an RPG.
Oh no, it's a sword boy.
It's the one, I think it's called Invisible, but
yeah.
It's not invisible.
Can't they go invisible?
No, they do some sort of weird, like, possession thing, I think.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't care to remember. Oh guys, I did my initial run through of Resident Evil Biohazard to prepare for our playthrough. It was gross. I was gagging multiple times. But we did it. I'm probably gonna use a guide again just cause, like, I found it really, really helpful. For me to, like, know where stuff was. And, like, if there was stuff coming. Because, like, I'm not overly familiar, obviously, with, like, the Resident Evil franchise outside of, like, playing Village and stuff, and now, I guess, Biohazard. But I found it really helpful to have something to follow along with, and I know kind of the whole point of games is to just kind of, like, discover it for yourself kind of thing, but, like, for this, anyway, and how close I came to dying in my playthrough, yeah, I'm using a guide.
That's fair.
Like, hey, at least I did it with Village, where I didn't follow a thing. Until the playthrough.
Now I'm just trying to make me upset with this one. So here's every enemy you can't attack from the front that likes to stare at you. The sad thing is, this really should be Donald's area of expertise, because they're all weak to magic. But no. Donald continues to prove his lack of utility.
Just use some magic.
I don't have the MP for magic.
Fair enough. Yep. I know we've talked about this and kind of joked about before how useless Donald and Goofy are. And, like, I get the whole point is that it's like, you know, they're not Keyblade wielders, and only the Keyblade can destroy the Heartless. But fucking hell, I've never seen NPCs in games that are so goddamn useless. And that, like, don't even, like, know how to attack the enemies properly. Because even in, like, oh god, what game? Like, I'm trying to think of an example, but, like, okay, even in, like, Uncharted, for example, when you have, like, bits where you're with Elena or when you're with Chloe, they fucking defend themselves! They know how to properly attack people! They can kill enemies, like, it bothers me so much when you have a game that has this like almost I hesitate to call it this, but it's like an almost like artificial party system where it's like, okay, you have to have these guys in your, or like you don't necessarily have to have them in your party, but it's like they're with you all the time. They don't do fuck all half the time. And it makes it completely useless. Like, why would you even waste the time coding them into it and like adding them as characters if you're not going to make them at least kind of useful?
Yeah, at most, Donald will heal you randomly.
That's the power of the Keyblade.
And the Goofy can do some damage, but I think the most use I've gotten out of them in this series are like those random attacks they can trigger in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
But not even all of them. Donald's, sure, because his were just, hey, you're invincible and doing damage. I did not like Goofy's guard thing, though.
But it just seems like a colossal waste to me. And like, especially knowing like, because you explained to me like, you've talked to me a bunch about like video game stuff because you're mildly familiar with stuff from school, right?
Yeah.
And it's like just knowing the amount of fucking work that goes into creating characters and creating a game. It's like, why would you fucking waste the time if you're not gonna make them useful? It just seems stupid. Okay, yeah, I get, you know, Donald and Goofy had, like, quote-unquote importance to the story. For this one, at least. But, like, I don't understand why, like, they would have rather had, like, useless characters over just, like, making Sora stronger and doing it on his own.
I don't know. I know the thing...
Like, you know what I'm talking
yeah.
about, right? Like, it just doesn't seem logical.
No, it'll make it even a little more confusing. It's the whole, you're kind of like, yeah, Sora's the wielder of the Keyblade, so only he can really destroy the Heartless. But in, like, we also see, like, in the next game, the Final Fantasy cast can handle the Heartless as well. They just can't free the hearts.
Yeah.
Ooh, almost done. Donald, you were on your ass the whole time.
Yo, hey, how you doing, everybody? Yeah, got a minute?
Anyone else find it a little weird that this is the 10th or 9th seed, whatever it is. Yeah, 10th seed of the Hades Cup. You fight Hades.
Does it say, isn't the first seed the Ice Titan?
No, the Ice Titan is its own boss battle.
No.
Yeah, it's one of the mystery cups.
Alright. So
Yeah,
making
so-
me want to watch Hercules though.
I guess they did the same thing with Hades that they did with Sephiroth.
What?
His health's not moving.
Yeah. Also, isn't he technically invincible while he's in this red?
I don't know. That was I know that was in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I don't know about this one.
See ya.
I feel like it has to have glitched.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like Hades, as in like the place in Greek mythology, wasn't associated with fire.
I mean, what was it actually called? Hades,
Well,
though?
the underworld.
Yeah. Oh, now it's moving.
Yeah, so then he probably has had additional health. But this goes to the whole thing where they didn't add enough colors for as many health bars as they wanted some of their bosses to have.
Hey, you having fun yet?
So I almost find it more helpful the way they do it in, what, 2? Where it's like they have
Yeah,
the little
2.
blobs underneath to
Yeah,
show
2.
you how much they've got left.
Yeah, 2 is where the additional blocks started.
Yeah. That's way more helpful.
At least I think it started with 2. I don't know what the original Chain of Memories did.
That's it.
Can you hit him with those fireballs?
You can reflect them back at him.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Heal.
Also, there's a little sleepy baby beside me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ah.
You know what? I have discovered the purpose of Donald and Goofy.
Cannon
Meat,
fodder.
meat shields?
Yep. Okay, here's an interesting question for you, Han.
Okay.
Since you have played many, many games. Or actually, it's 2. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
So, first, because you're kind of a big Disney fan like me, right?
A bit.
So, seeing as many Disney movies as you have seen, and it can be any of them, like any of the live action or cartoon, whatever you prefer, which one would you like to see turned into a game? And not like your stereotypical garbage Disney game that's like, haha, jump up the side of a cliff, collect a bone, who wins? Like, you know, like the baby Disney games from like the early 2000s kind of thing. Like, not something like that, but turned into an actual proper game.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, it's also just because like a lot of the Disney movies don't really lend themselves much to games.
No, that's fair.
Like maybe Encanto could, because you pretty much got a family with superpowers. But really, like, and like, yeah, you could probably get some like interesting platforming with Isabella and combat with Luisa.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get.
Mirabelle.
You know, you could probably do something with Mirabelle. I'm more thinking of the mother and her cousin.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's fair. Okay. So then, in the same kind of vein, what movie would you love to see have like a game? It doesn't have to be Disney in this case, just like any movie that you've seen.
I really don't know. Because part of it's really just like it's a completely different presentation style between the two mediums. Oh look, Donald and Goofy are on their ass again. However, will I overcome the situation?
No, the only like games that I could realistically see, like the only company really that I could realistically see doing like games from like a movie thing because of like the narrative structure of movies and stuff is someone like Naughty Dog. Just because a lot of their games are kind of more like playable movie sort of things.
Hey, you having fun yet?
Does that make sense?
Yes and no. Like, it definitely is more up their alley in terms of narrative structure, but at the same time, their games are also a lot longer than what would be like even a TV series.
Well, yeah. Well, that's fair.
Like, it is also a benefit of the medium where you typically get at least 20 hours out of a modern game to really try and tell a story.
Yeah, like unless it's Resident Evil.
Well, because those are designed to be short experiences.
No, absolutely.
But I just mean, like, for those that really want to take advantage of it, like, what was it? Last of Us 2 is, what, reportedly about 30 hours?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, they're given that space to not, yes, do gameplay, but they also have that space to put in plot.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna reverse my question. what game would you love to see turned into like a movie series or a TV series? Like if you could guarantee that they were gonna do it justice and do it right.
See, that's already the first problem, because so many people that do them just don't give a shit. I mean, hell, Resident Evil's had 2 chances at a movie franchise and they fucked up both times. I have not heard anything actually, like, I've heard that Welcome to Raccoon City is passable at best.
Lovely.
Well, it's because part of it is that they try and combine elements from the first and second Resident Evil game, which doesn't really work because the first Resident Evil game takes place in the Arclay Mansion, which is outside of Raccoon City.
Yeah.
And the second
Also,
game...
Leon Scott Kennedy is in the movie, and I don't understand how that works. And he's not blonde? Excuse me?
He wasn't blonde to begin with, he was a brunette.
What?
Yeah, in both versions of Resident Evil 2, he's a brunette.
But why is he blonde in Resident Evil 4 then?
Because... there's no good reason.
Okay, well, going back to my question. If you could, like, guarantee it was going to be done well, what game would you love to see turned into, like, a TV or movie series?
Starting to get warmed up here.
I really don't know, because like part of what makes gaming so engaging is its interactivity.
Well, yeah.
I know, I'm just saying, like,
I just mean because like so many companies now are looking to turn movies into or video games into movies that it's like if you were given the choice kind of thing. It's like, hey, we're trying to put out this new movie based on X game or this TV series based on X game kind of thing.
yeah, the only problem with that, and this is more just the state of the like Hollywood, is that it's still run by a bunch of old guys.
Well, I know, but
I'm just saying, like, that it's still run by a bunch of old guys in suits that are only interested in money. They have no interest in the integrity of an IP.
Well, I mean, that's what my question was, though. Is
No,
like,
I
if you
know.
could do it, guarantee that it was done justice, you know, and that it preserved the integrity of the game's story and stuff.
Hades, I want to fuck off with this.
It's okay. We'll just continue in the next episode.
We'll see everybody next time when I beat the snot out of Hades for wasting my time.
We have to go all the way back to the 19th seed. Yeah. You're gonna get 2 episodes of the same shit.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well, we'll see everybody once we get back to Hades then.
Yeah.
Goodbye.